Hello, welcome to my channel. I am here doing story time while Vivian plays a game for me in the background. So we are now part 11 of the story time. So if you've missed parts 1 through 10, you definitely want to go back and watch them, or else you're going to be very lost in the story. So as I said in the last one, in 2020, or 2021, or I guess it was still 2020, the beginning of the school year. We had started our new normal basically for us, with just basically surviving. And in 2021, my kids had gotten really into the Dream SMP during the pandemic. So that was something that they always wanted me to watch with them. They wanted me to watch streams and videos and all this stuff. So, much like I had watched Stranger Things and The Umbrella Academy and all these shows with them, I would sit down and watch these streams with them. I didn't really fully understand what, the role play, all this stuff. I didn't really understand it, so I wasn't really sure what I was watching, but it was entertaining enough. And, there was a whole bunch of people that they wanted to watch, and so we'd watch them. Anytime my ex-husband came in the room and we were watching one of these streams or videos, he would get so mad because he did not understand that these were not people that he thought I was cheating on him with Minecraft YouTubers as well, even though 90% of them were young enough to be my children. Didn't matter. He had also had the same problem when I went and saw the band Ninja Sex Party in concert. He thought that this was a personal, because they were YouTubers, he assumed that it was just going to be two dudes in a chair singing just to me. And he did not understand that that's not how these things work. But he would get so angry, and he would make snarky comments. One time he told me I was never allowed to buy merch from these Minecraft people, because if I'm buying merch, clearly they're hand sewing it, walking it directly to me, and we're going to make out as they give it to me. So of course, all I did was buy their merch. Didn't even really want it. But you tell me I'm not allowed to buy it, you bet I'm buying it. Anyway, it's not the point. The point is he would get outrageously angry and jealous over things like YouTubers, Twitch streamers, singers. It was bananas. And he would even get mad when my middle son and I would do our daily drives, because he assumed that I was actually going to someone's house. I wasn't actually just driving around. And in actuality, that was our lifeline. That was the thing that got us through each day. We had this playlist that had Taylor Swift, 1975, The Wallows, Conan Gray, and honestly, that might be Water Parks. And I honestly attribute that to Vivian's current love for Taylor Swift. I think she heard it while she was taking her nap, sleeping, and it's subliminal Taylor Swift indoctrination. How do you say that word? Whatever, you know what it is. That's what we did. So sorry. But anyway, so then we go to 2021, and we make it through this year, and it was rough. We were really struggling. We got through the school year. We got into the summer. One good thing about the summer is my ex-husband was gone 90% of it. He was on his bike and he was gone. We hardly saw him. So that was really good. When he was there, it was bad, but and it had gotten to the point as well, after the first time everything happened in 2020, my youngest son wanted me to sleep in his room. He didn't want his dad anywhere near me. He could hear, when he would come in and wake me up, he would yell at me. So he would ask me to sleep in his room. And he had this chase lounge thing in his bedroom. So I would sleep on that and he would sleep in his bed. And that was what he wanted me to do every single night. So I did. This is a 10-year-old little boy, just so worried about his mom. So he insisted that I sleep in his room. So then that we had a trip planned to go to Disney World again for the 50-year anniversary. So we would have been there in October. So we left like late September into October. We were there for like, I don't know, 7 days, something like that. And originally when we first planned the trip, it was me and two of my sisters with their families. And originally my husband had decided he wanted to come along. The kids were so upset when he said that he wanted to come along, they actually cried. Like, they did not want to go anymore. Well, then all of a sudden one day he came to me and told me he didn't want to go anymore. And I was like, okay, no problem. So I go on and I cancel his part of it. And, you know, the money came back just for his tickets, because obviously everything else is still going to be, you know, same price, same room, all that kind of stuff. And so I used the refund from his tickets to buy our flights. I was like, perfect. This is almost exactly what we need for our flights. So I just paid for our flights and we were good to go. Well, he thought that it was going to be like thousands of dollars that I was going to get for a refund, and that I was going to give it directly to him. So he was furious when he found out, because that was the only reason he canceled. He wanted money. Because he had no access to money at that point, except whatever he was making doing side jobs or whatever he was doing for this friend of his, because all the money went to my account, and I used it to pay the bills. Now, obviously, when he needed, you know, I still bought groceries, but he never came to me and asked me for, like, money or anything, because I don't think he realized that I had it. He was so far gone, like, his face was sunken in, his skin was this greasy yellow color. He always had like this greasy sweat sheen on him. He smelled awful. Like, he was bad. Like, I was convinced that one day I was going to wake up and he wasn't going to be there anymore. You know, like, it was bad. And I didn't know what to do. Like, he would not admit that he had any kind of problem. It was terrible. And during that time, his oldest sister, or I guess second oldest, was she the oldest? I don't know, whatever. She ended up getting sick with cancer. And he was so out of it that he really didn't even process any of that. They had this get together at her house where everybody was supposed to come and say goodbye to her. It was kind of like a picnic thing at her house. Everybody stayed outside. This was over the summer. Everybody stayed outside to summer of 2021. And then you're supposed to go in the house and see her. He would not let my kids go in and see their aunt, which still to this day they're so upset about, because they loved her and they wanted to have the chance to say goodbye to her. He would not let them in the house. And at that time, that's when his brother, who lived out of town, saw him for the first time. And he hadn't seen him in a while. And he pulled me aside and was like, what the heck is going on with my brother? Why does he look like that? So I told him that he had an addiction, told him what it was, told him what was going on. Nobody had told this man any of this stuff, like his brother. He had no idea what was going on. And so I explained it all to him. And I'll never forget, he came to my house later on that day with his wife and told me to do whatever I need to do to get me and my children safe. And I was like, okay, you got it. I'll do whatever I need to do. So his sister then passed away shortly after this. And I had noticed that he was texting one of her friends a lot. But honestly, I didn't care. I would go to plug in his phone at night, you know, because he would pass out wherever, and there'd be tons of messages from this girl. I never opened a single one. I genuinely did not care what he was doing or who he was doing it with. So then in October, we went on this Disney trip, and I will let you guys know what happened on this trip and afterwards in the next video. So please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye.